if the animals die but they don't suffer? So, I mean, or do you think that the dying is the suffering?
I think that if they don't suffer, it's better, but I still think it's an ethical issue to kill them when they don't want to die. So, for example, I have a dog at home, and he has a very good life. He's very happy. So if I shot my dog in the back of the head tomorrow for a completely unnecessary reason, do you not think that's still cruel, even if it's better than killing him in a way that causes him suffering? Do you still think there's something unethical about killing someone who doesn't want or need to die?
It's a good question, obviously, very good question.
But I think the vast majority of animals are given miserable lives. If you go into a supermarket and you buy dairy, you buy eggs, you buy meat, they're coming from factory farms where they're crammed into sheds, they stand in their own feces, they're suffering. How about we stop just breeding them into a life of suffering just to kill them when we can eat other things instead?
For me, it would be the bigger thing is that I do love the taste of meat, and that, you know, okay, that is selfish. But then loads of stuff that we do on Earth as human beings is selfish.
I ate meat for about 21, 22 years, and I loved it. The flavour was delicious, I loved the texture. But the question I asked myself was, is the pleasure I get from that worth the suffering and harm that's caused to the animals? For example, if I really enjoyed slapping people, if I went over there and I slapped someone because I really enjoyed it, but it really hurt them and they suffered because of it, I wouldn't be justified in doing that just because I enjoyed it, right? So, if you enjoy the taste of animal products, but it causes a lot of suffering and harm, do you think that small amount of pleasure you get, which lasts maybe 10, 15 minutes, is worth all of that suffering?
If they have suffered, then possibly not.
You haven't actually said this, so I don't want to put words in about it, but basically that you feel it's cruel and wrong to eat meat. Would you say that? Or
I would be a bit more detailed about it. I'd say it's cruel and wrong to harm or kill animals when we don't need to, and because that's where we get meat from, it's sort of like a. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like if we could get meat in ways that didn't cause harm or kill animals, like say for example, cell-cultured meat. Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Where they take cells from an animal and they grow it and then they sell the meat that way. I have no ethical issues with that because no animals are harmed or killed in the process.
Yeah. Do you think if you concentrated more upon the methods that we rear animals and the inhumane ways we treat them and kill them and all of that, but accepted, okay, people can eat meat, but we should concentrate upon how we're producing the meat, do you think you might have more success in relieving the suffering?
Welfare is important, but I also think we shouldn't be doing this to them at all anyway. And so any progress we can make in their welfare is still worthwhile, but I still want us to stop farming animals altogether eventually too. So, and I think the best way to achieve that is a mindset shift, right? Because there have been studies on this where they say if you eat animals, you subconsciously are less likely to see a problem with what happens to them. I think there were tests done on people where they were fed a meat dish and then asked questions about animal consciousness and their ability to experience pain, and the people that ate meat before doing the questionnaire tend to rank the animals lower in their capacity for sentience and experiencing pain than people that were given vegetables, right?
I guess we naturally try to reduce cognitive dissonance.
Exactly, exactly. And so I think that the best way to bring about a better future for animals would be to change this mindset and stop viewing them as things we can just farm and use and kill whenever we want, and start viewing them as individuals who can feel pain and suffer just like us, you know?
I mean, what do you feel about this? I mean, I live in Italy, Umbria, where there still is a massive, I know quite a lot of guys who will not buy meat from the supermarket, but they go hunting. So it's wild, it's had a wild life, and then it's shot, and then they eat it and they cook it. I mean, would you see that as being a more progressive, better?
I would see that as less cruel than buying from factory farms, but I still wouldn't see it as a kind or compassionate thing to do. In the same way that if I stuck a human in a factory farm, you'd think I was an absolute monster. If I shot them when they were out living a nice life, you'd say, oh, that's better, but it's still not a kind or compassionate thing to do, you know? Do you see where I'm coming from?
I see what you mean.
If the goal of ethics is to try and allow others to live a long and happy life, right? I think that should extend to animals too, because they also have feelings and they don't want to be killed, right? So do you think if you could be healthy without paying for animals to suffer or be sent to slaughterhouses, that would be something you'd want to pursue?
You've given me a lot of food for thought.
Yeah?
So that's not a good analogy, but
I like the play on words.
Food for thought.
I was actually vegetarian for about 6 or 7 years.
Oh, that's cool.
And I became a bit ill, and the pranotherapist said it's because you're not eating meat. I mean, who knows? It's a pranotherapist.
I think that's a common common thing that people say, and I think
Yeah.
it's because it is possible to become a vegetarian or become a vegan and not have a balanced enough diet on it. It's like I said to the woman before, if you go vegan and you just eat salads every day, you're not getting all your nutrients, are you? Whereas if you eat high protein plant foods and you have a good varied version of that diet, you can get everything you need, and you don't just have to take my word for it either. Like I said, the NHS have said this.
I mean, I think one aspect of what you're saying though is, unfortunately, in the busy, manic lifestyle that people lead, then for them to find the time to actually make sure they do eat properly, it's much quicker.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It is more convenient. I don't deny for a second it is more convenient to eat animal products. But one question I'll ask you is, what do you value more? The convenience of just picking up the closest thing to you in the supermarket, or buying something that's going to be more compassionate and more kind to animals? Yeah. In which case, if buying more plant-based foods is going to lead to a more compassionate future for animals, would that be something you would consider doing, even if you can't do it completely?
See, one thing, I don't even ever met anybody who is going to say what I'm going to say, is that I actually am almost the opposite of a vegetarian, because nearly every green vegetable I can't eat.
Oh, okay.
There's something in my taste buds that is bitter and horrible taste.
Okay.
So actually very few really healthy foods that I can eat.
I can understand that. A lot of the time when people tell me that they don't like certain vegetables, I explain to them there are different ways you can cook it and stuff like that. They might like it better.
Into a curry, then I can bear it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can find ways to cook them so you like it.
What about another slightly finicky point I know, and I don't mean to be finicky, but in producing vegetables and stuff, using pesticides and all of that, we are killing a lot of animals as well.
I agree with you, and this comes up all the time. A lot of people miss this, which is that farming crops does harm animals. In terms of pesticides harms insects, any small animals that find their way into the field sometimes get killed in the process of harvesting it. But that is actually minimized if we stop farming animals, because the vast majority of animals that we farm for food are fed crops. So if we stopped farming animals, we would grow less crops as a result, and so less animals would be harmed overall. Have you ever thought about that before?
Well, that's very interesting. Very, very valid point. Our last point is also, and I'm sure you brought this one up, but I think it's a relevant one as well. We're fucking up the efficacy of so many antibiotics.
Yes.
By just by the injecting of
farmed animals. Yes.
So that's another aspect which I think is
If we weren't farming so many animals, there would be less use of antibiotics.
Thank you for your lovely balanced approach.
I like it very much.
Thank you.
You'll get me to really think.
And obviously highly intelligent as well.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Not this. I mean, I haven't been here, Speaker's Corner, for about 30 more years. There's nowhere near as many people there used to be. But most of them still are just spouting a load of shit.
And when you're talking about ethical issues like this, things can get heated and just turn into name calling, and I don't think that's an effective way to communicate ideas, So if you've enjoyed the conversation and if you want to think about this further, could I give you a card maybe?
Yeah, please do.
Cool.
Yeah.
So on the back of that card is a little code that you can scan with your phones, and it will take you to my YouTube channel, but also some resources to do with what I've been talking about. So where you can get healthy plant-based foods and some footage as to like what happens to animals on farms and things like that. Thank you so much. Yeah, nice to meet you too. My name's Jake, by the way.
Okay. Jake, keep up the good work.
I will.
The world needs more people like you. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.